the video on fermenting. So I did some poached pears. I need to do some, so I've done some poached pears. It's relatively simple. I don't know why I didn't make a video on it. It's dead easy. You just poach them in a sugar solution, which is equal quantities sugar and water, with some spices in and some lemon juice and zest. Cook them slowly, core them, peel them, and they're very nice. Then once you've eaten the pears, you're left with this delicious syrup. And for some reason, there was loads of syrup left over from the poaching. I don't know why. So I've got that one and I've got that one. Ordinarily, what I do is I save the syrup and I use it in old-fashioned cocktails, which is absolutely delicious because it's got the spiciness and sweetness, slight acidity, and it's got the flavour of the pears as well. So it is absolutely delicious. It's just like nectar. So I was thinking, normally I do other things with it, use it in cocktails, but there's kind of quite a lot. And I also kind of turn it into treacle as well, which I'll probably make a video on that when I get around to making some treacle. Well, syrup, like a really heavy syrup, so that you'd use as a golden syrup, not a treacle, because treacles are black, but like a golden syrup. I turn it into a golden syrup, and because it's got the extra flavour of the pears and the lemon and the spices, it's particularly delicious and much nicer than any kind of golden syrup you can kind of buy. But I was thinking, it's got pear juice in it, it's got spices, it's got lemon, it's got sugar, it's got water. Can we ferment it? So let's have a go. Those out of the way. Oh yeah, and they're best off made like a few days before, so they can like mature over time. So clean bottle, sterilised it, poured the hot syrup in, and the hot syrup is now cold. So we can, and hopefully I've got some champagne yeast. I still think it'll be in date. It's about a year old. Is there a date on it? No, there's no date on it, but I think it'll be fine. So we'll use this yeast in it, and then we'll put a airlock in it, and then we'll see if it ferments, because it's not that dissimilar from a what we call it, a mead. How much are we going to put in? That's probably too much, but it doesn't matter because the yeast will grow anyway, so that'll be fine. So it probably just, I'm slightly concerned that the yeast is a little bit old, so it might just take a little bit longer. And then we just need to put some water in the airlock. So we'll just do that. I can get the top off it. Add some water in the airlock, and then a little bit of the flies get attracted to this, so we just need to, last time I got some flies in it, so I just thought I'd put a little bit of muslin over the top of the airlock. So we'll just put a little bit of muslin over the top of the airlock as well, just to make sure. Oh. I'll do that in a second. So we'll just stand it up so the water doesn't come out of it, and then we'll put the top on and give it a shake. And then I don't think, I did do some mead with some spices in and a bit of lemon, so I don't think there'll be enough acid or spices in there to what we call it, to kind of kill the yeast. But we'll just have to make sure. So we'll put that somewhere and we'll see what happens. Yeah, so we'll give it a couple of days, and then we'll see if it kind of happens. If it starts fermenting, I think it will. I don't know how it will turn out. I think it will probably be a bit like a pear mead, or like a type of thing. Oh, that'll work. There we go. That'll just stop any kind of flies, because some flies are really small and they just get in those little holes there. So we'll give that a couple of days, and then we'll see if anything happens. So there isn't much happening in this pear syrup. Nothing seems to be moving at all, and I've had it on top of the radiator, as well to give it a bit of heat, and nothing seems to be happening. So I don't know if the yeast isn't working properly because it's a little bit old, or that the spices and the lemon in the pear syrup has killed it. So I'm making some apple cider vinegar at the moment. So this is still fermenting because we can see we're getting some bubbles coming up through it. So instead of faffing around to see if the yeast is actually alive, the champagne lace is not dead, without kind of testing that, what I can do is we can take some of the juice from this apple cider, well, this alcohol, this fermenting apple juice and things, and at the moment that's actually fermenting, and we can add some of that yeast from there and then hopefully, and that will kickstart the fermenting process of the juice, of the pear juice. So we'll put that on there, that on there, and give it a little bit of a shake just to get that any kind of dribbles of juice that were on the neck of the bottle, and we'll give that a go. We'll see if anything happens. And if that doesn't work, that's fermenting. If that doesn't work, then it's certainly that the spices and the lemon have killed any yeast that we put in there, so we can't ferment it. But anyway, we'll see. We'll give it a couple of days, see how it goes. So a week has gone by and nothing's happening. I've added a bit more yeast to it, and there's no fermentation whatsoever. So I don't know if the yeast was just a little bit too old, or there's too much spices in it, or there's too much sugar, which has stopped any kind of fermentation from happening. But not to worry, it was only a bit of fun anyway, so I'll do something else with that. We'll boil it up so it'll kill off any of the kind of yeast, and I'll give it a strain, and then I'll turn it into something else, or I'll use it for something else. It won't go to waste. But it didn't work, so we can't win all the time, can we?